What's going on, y'all? My name is Shawn Robert Johnson, and today I got my bro LaShawn Fitch with me, and we're just going to talk about how it impacted those who got rejected clemency in New Jersey, and we're going to discuss a little bit about the juror rights, how ex-felons got that restored so they could be on jurors now. So let's get straight to it. What's going on, y'all? My name is Shawn Robert Johnson. This is my bro right here, LaShawn Fitch, right here. And what a lot of people don't know, we grew up together. We definitely grew up together. We also did time together at the Jersey State Prison in Trenton, New Jersey. Me personally, I had a 60-year sentence. I did 19 years, and I was blessed to have 41 years commuted off my sentence.
Right. Like Mr. Johnson said, my name is LaShawn Fitch. I was sentenced to 40 years. I did 17 of it, and December 4th, I was granted executive clemency, which took almost 19 years off of my sentence. So I kind of did a little less than half of the sentence itself. And I'm also, the founder of Justice for Jersey, which is a upcoming nonprofit geared to provide insight and just shine a light on the darkness what goes on in the prison system, and not only the prison system, but you know the Black community as a whole, whether that's economics and the wages and housing and schooling and things like that. So it's a very in-depth, very meticulous and thought out nonprofit that's really going to be geared for change. So like I said, we not just guys that just did time and came home on clemency. We actually grew up together, like literally, like had some of the same friends, like hang with the same crowd. Like when he went to jail, I remember reading it in the paper only a year and a half later follow it right behind, so it wasn't one of those things. Like we actually knew each other, and also, we also build together inside of the prison system. So now that we've been blessed and given this opportunity with this second chance, it will not be for granted. It will not be taken for granted, and we're gonna put our best foot forward.
Absolutely. There's definitely a purpose, man. We look at about that all the time. It's definitely a purpose. It's not every day that people get granted clemency, and especially not in New Jersey. And for people who just give full context background of it, like it was 5,000 petitions that was submitted in New Jersey from 2023 all the way up into 2026 when Governor Phil Murphy left office. Now, it was some petition that was in there along his tenure, but it totaled about 5,000. Out of them 5,000 petitions between us that was incarcerated at the time, as well as those who was on the streets that did their time, or if they just had like a suspended license, whatever they put their clemency in for, they petitions in for, right? It was only 455 petitions granted out of that 5,000. And that was between pardons on the streets and us that was commuted in prison. Now, out of that 455, only 120 of those petitions was commutations of us in prison. Out of that 120, it's about roughly, I don't know the exact number, but I think it's about 30 of us that got freed. Now, the other 90 will be getting freed over the next couple of years because they got their time commuted, but it's about 30 of us free. Now, when you look at that in the context of 5,000 petitions, and we're both standing here before you, we both came home on December 4th, we both had individually a 0.02% chance of being freed off of clemency.
Tell them that again. I don't think they heard that, bro.
And that's a number, 0.02%. So that's like hitting the lottery. That's
we
like hitting the
lottery numbers.
Lottery numbers. So we don't take it for granted that we here. We know that we got blessed to come back for a purpose. And unfortunately, just like we're on the side of being recipients of it, in that 455 group period, is 4,500 people that did not receive clemency. And they got rejected. And recently, we talked to a lot of people still behind, a lot of the guys we grew up with. And, they discouraged right now because now they supposed to have to reapply to Mikey Sherrill administration.
And it's indeterminate on what her ideas are. And I don't even want to throw salt on the wound before we even get to her. Let's get back to the mood of the prison. Let's get back to the psyche of the prison. Let's get back
Yeah,
to take you into the minds of brothers that are still inside and sisters that are still inside of these
and they
penal
hurting.
institutions. They hurting.
They
And I
hurting.
know that they hurting is because, on Monday when he made the his signing on Tuesday when he put the list out, excuse me, I got over 70 calls. I'm not
Facts.
even exaggerating. I got
I know.
over 70 calls from the prison. It was like basically I was the shoulder to cry on, and it was what it was. And I'm not saying that these individuals were actually crying. It was just they needed to vent, and they needed to vent these frustrations with people that actually understood.
Still,
And
exactly.
I appreciate the fact that people are willing to come to me before they even go to their own mothers, before they go to their
Yeah.
fathers, before they go to their brothers, cousins, or homies. Why? Because they don't know that world. Is they can only do so much for you. So when we start talking about the psyche, what is the psyche? Down. What is the emotion like? Somber. You know what I'm saying? So
It,
it's a real dark and dreary place inside of a maximum security
really.
prison. Let's
And
make sure we not
you know,
forget
I
that.
get that. Yeah, it's like one thing I say this a lot, right? And you probably agree with me in this. When you first get into that prison, day one, and you go through that garage, you can feel the hopelessness and the
Bruh.
despair
In the
inside
air,
that place. Like you just feel them spirits in there.
death.
And for once, and like I did 19, you did 17. So I'm going back to when I went down there in 2008, and I think you got down there around what 2000 or what
Yeah, you gotta remember they bled me in the
the
county for
county.
5 years.
Yeah, so
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 I
you got
got
that
down there
like,
like the end of 2013,
yeah, like
2014, shit
13,
like
right?
that. Yeah.
And even that you still can feel it. But
Yeah.
post pandemic of the COVID, and then once this clemency popped off in 2023, the atmosphere shifted where guys really had hope, where they like, yo,
Right.
we got sentences all this time, and for once we have an opportunity to walk out. And then when they
Hmm.
see people walking out, it's like it's becoming a reality. And then when we walk out, they like, oh no, it's definitely real.
Bro, and then like go back to the number because I don't like when you talk about the numbers,
Yeah, it's
you talk about
crazy.
a point zero zero two
Two
point zero.
percent.
That's it. But it's even deeper than that. Imagine two motherfuckers from the same area hit the lottery at the same time.
No, three,
Three.
three,
Oh, three.
three. We could
So
we can't discredit bro. So three of us
yeah,
at the
so we
same
hold
time.
on. We got
And
three.
and
That's like three people walking
for the
into a 7-Eleven simultaneously, and they
and
all
hitting the
got a
lottery.
winning ticket.
All got a winning ticket. And it's like we used to talk about this so much of like, damn, yo, we get out, we both go. And we used to talk how we going to pop
Right,
out there around the same time.
right,
And,
right,
and, and God made it happen.
right,
But on the flip side of that, it's like growing up with guys in there doing 10 years or better, they become family to you. They become
right.
brothers to you. Some
Mm-hmm.
that's older, they become like uncles to you or
Right,
whatever the case may be. They family become your family. You see them on visit, you talk to them.
right, right.
And like you said, we've been getting so many calls and emails that the regular person will not understand it, and they understand it their own way. But to us, it's more realer because it's a difference from, to me, I always say this, it's a difference from doing time in prison when you know you have an exit date versus doing time in prison and they
And
telling you
ain't
your
one in
exit
sight.
date is
Right,
60 years down the line.
right.
You got to work to get that back.
And this is why we out here because we knew what our release dates was laughable. Like when you looked at it, you be like, yo, 2053,
Man,
it's
I was
not funny.
2051.
But what I'm saying is this though, bro. Like you still had the wherewithal to be like, even though, they basically gave me forever and a day, that's not gonna stop me from
From doing
maturing.
what I,
It's not gonna stop me from growing. It's not like I never one day actually lived inside of prison. Like I always used to tell people, if I can't go to the world, I'm gonna bring the world to
world
my
to me,
cell. Period. You know what I'm
period.
saying? So it was like that with me. I was always creative, but it's like now that we popped, now that we did this, Now, we left a lot of brothers in there and a lot of people. Like I said, too much is given, much is expected. And look, I'm
Exactly.
I'm not running from it. I
Me
embrace the
neither.
pressure. I embrace it all. I like put it on my back, put it on
This
my
what we
shoulders.
signed up for.
This is what we signed up for. I'm not running away from this. This is what it is. I done ran up and down and screamed to the top of my lungs every chair I'm on. When I touch, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna make sure they
Exactly.
know about this. We gonna free brothers.
Exactly.
We gonna do this. And all I can do is stand on business. So
Stand on it.
so it's like not to the switch, but the segue back into the just to show you like, man, that aura in Trenton when you go there, it's helpless, it's despair. Like I said, it's somber, like you can feel the death in
Death.
the air. You
Death.
can
You can
literally
feel it.
feel it. Like the lights are dim. Like it's like I try to it's in my book too, A Prisoner's Plight. It's coming out soon. When I talked about that it can be broad daylight outside. It can be shiny.
But
Bruh,
it's dim inside the prison.
it's dim inside the prison and it's even darker inside your cell. So we talking at
Exactly.
2 o'clock on a June afternoon, it's 80 degrees. The officers still need the flashlight
That's
in
right.
your cell just to see you. That's how dark you've been put in the shoebox.
Shoot.
You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? So it's we made it out, and it's like I said, bro, we walking in purpose right now.
You
You know what I'm
walking the
saying? A lot
purpose.
of people won't understand. Like a lot of the guys I'm dealing with, not just you, is the I was always told stick with the niggas that know you, or stick with the brothers that know you. No disrespect. I love I got so much love out here, and I spread love. Like I'm not into any animosity, but a lot of people that when I was just out here, they don't know me. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like they only know what they
Of you.
think of you or what they
Hmm.
expect of you or what they think you about to do. So now being tapped in with you, being tapped in with all the other brothers that left on Clemency, this is what I know. Because I know them and they know me.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
and like
saying?
us personally, we know each other before prison, through prison, so
Right.
it's a different type of
Yeah.
bond at the
Yeah.
end of the
Right.
day.
Right. Nah,
So
and yeah, it's crazy, man. Like it's crazy because we still writing something that like it's so much film left on this movie. It's
I
crazy,
agree.
bro.
I
Like
agree.
this is like this we really like that's season one of a great you know what I'm saying? Like because what we about to do. I'm watching. Oh yeah, salutes and shout, man. Congratulations on that interview with Ian Vick. That was big, man.
Yeah, that was a
That was
blessing.
that was
That was a
big.
blessing.
I
That
ain't
was a
gonna
blessing.
lie. I'm like, they let that go to Connecticut. So I
That was a
started calling
blessing.
man, like so but that was big though, and that was big. That was big for everybody that was big for around the way. Like I ain't even gonna hold you. Like, you know what I'm saying? We know the faces, we know the people that was just up on that podcast. You know what I'm saying? And for you to be able to pop right outside the gate and get to
Mars.
it. I knew what time it was though. I started laughing. I said, yeah, bro,
Yeah.
gonna get to it. And that's the vibe we on. Like what
Yeah,
you
I
do,
look,
niggas bringing niggas in.
yeah, I read a comment right earlier this morning. Somebody was like, "Yo, that's not put the towel on the mat, put Asbury on the mat," right?
Yeah.
And I'm just laughing, but just being blessed to have the opportunity is a blessing. We only been home a month
Month and a
and maybe
half.
2 weeks, right? So to be
Yeah.
able to do that, to pop out and be able to do that in the first month and a half is a blessing because it didn't take years, it didn't take
Right.
months,
Right.
right? But as we enjoying it, we always talk about this, right? Our freedom is not just a purpose for us, it's a purpose for those we left behind
Right.
because we're going to be scrutinized on everything that we do.
Everything. We
If
can't
we
win.
if we mess up, they're going to look at this in the political world and say, yo, you know what? This is exactly why you should not have let them guys home.
Right.
On the flip side, if we succeed, then not if we're going to succeed,
That's a
and
fact.
they're going to look at it and say, okay, this is the reason why y'all let them out, right? It's a good thing. But when you look at it, it's like, man, no matter how much grateful we can be and how surreal it is, it's bittersweet because there's so many people that want to experience their journey in their own way. And unfortunately, it got put on pause.
Right.
And, Uncle Rob, we both know Uncle Rob.
Oh,
And
hey, yo, bro,
this, this is the
I ain't
craziest
even been
thing
able to sleep right in the last couple nights
because
after
of this.
hearing that, bro.
Because of this. So his actual name is Raheem Cleveland.
Right.
And, he been down there for the time. Good dude. Good dude.
Great guy, great brother.
Good dude. And to me personally, I was just telling you this a couple of hours ago that, it broke my heart when I got an email from him because what happened was the last commutation list came out January 20th, right? So
Yeah, that
the
was
week,
Tuesday.
yeah, Tuesday. So the week prior to this, we're talking about January 12th. I got a call from a couple of people in the prison. They had called 20 people down to the social worker office, and they all signed their discharge papers. Some of these people were people that seen the governor's team. Uncle Ra was one of the ones that didn't. It's a few other people that didn't
But
actually
break
see
it
him.
down real quick when you start talking about the discharge of it, because people
Yes,
might
yes,
not know
no,
what the.
I'm about to get
Because
into that.
before I go into that, Uncle Rock, that's my brother. Shot. He's from Newark, New Jersey. You know what I'm saying? He's locked up for a murder he didn't commit, and I know his case because it's really a hard case. It's like,
Hard
especially
case.
when the victim is someone he knows and someone that's around him. So
Somebody around him. He
um,
didn't pull no trigger. He
no
didn't do
trick.
any of that, and
So
he was
imagine
off for
somebody
5 years.
claimed, right, offered them 5 years.
5 years,
This
but
is
he got
how much.
55.
5 years. He
He
didn't
got
take it because he felt that, well, why I didn't kill my friend or I didn't kill my homie, whatever the case may be. You offered that man five
5
years,
years, and he ended up getting 55.
and he ended up losing trial and getting
It's like
55
five.
years.
So that's the backstory of it, right?
Yeah,
When you go down and sign your discharge paper, because we went through this, right? And trust me, that's the
yeah,
greatest feeling in the world when you know that you got all this time on your back.
right.
So when they call you down there for the discharge paper, the social worker would sit down there and basically have you sign the forms for your release. And you basically getting your reentry stuff in place, you getting
All
your
that,
parole stuff in place.
right.
They viewing your living arrangements. They
You taking
viewing
the exit
you taking
photo.
an exit photo, right? It means it's over. Your
It's
time is
over.
over. So 20 of them went down there. Uncle Rod never got an interview from the governor's team, never got anything like that happening. But they called him down there with the group and he signed his discharge paper. They told him he was going home
Oh,
because of the clemency that had been granted.
hold on, hold on.
Then
Let me. I don't want to even cut your wisdom and your
go ahead.
build because it's perfect to stop right there because it's a difference, like you said, when you know you don't, there's no end in sight. Or when you know you fighting, or you waiting for a court date, or you waiting for a pill. It's something totally different. When you've been beaten down, denied. I mean, Uncle Rob got it
Got
almost a dub.
15. You
Oh,
got 15 in.
he got 15 years in.
15 in off of a plea. We got offered 5.
So he's already did
10,
10 more
10
years
more years than what he was offered.
than what he was offered. And he only got 15, so he got like another what, 30 to go.
No, 40 because it was
40.
55.
Ah, man. So, and when knowing that you got all of this, and I just want everybody to just picture this. You got 55 years. Your appeals have been constantly denied. You've been pushed down. You've been sat down. You've been all of this. And one day, you watching everybody you knew. He watched. That's my brother. He knew you. He watching us go home at the same time.
Watching us go home.
And they tell you, yo, you about to go home too.
You about to go home. And
So imagine what's in that man's
we
mind.
we know what it's like
Facts.
because like you said, we was in the same exact boat. I still have 41 years remaining. You
Yeah,
still had 19 remaining.
yeah,
Right?
yeah.
So we know what it's like for it to go from like, oh man, yo, it's over. You
Right.
when you sign them papers, you know that it's over. You calling your family like, listen, God bless me, yo, it's over. And
Right.
then through that whole week, knowing that the announcement is coming, that whole week you on a high. You don't know how to feel, but you on a high. You
Right.
can't sleep.
You can't.
You
Oh
can't
my.
do nothing because all you thinking about is, man,
What
I
I'm gonna
had
do?
all this time and I didn't conquered it,
I
right? And
conquered it.
this is not to diminish everybody else because we specifically talking about Uncle Ra right now. It's not to
Yeah.
diminish everybody else.
Not at
Everybody
all.
else that didn't even get the discharge to this part, right? Their hope was shot down with this too. So we're not even just talking about that yet.
And
But
that's what people don't understand. Because I want you to keep that train of thought. Because a lot of times when we was, creating hope. You know what I'm saying? When we was on the inside, we was waiting hope, we was creating hope. When something good happened for somebody, it's a trickle down effect in the
that
whole prison, and it
whole
gives off
prison,
this, this euphoric feeling that I'm next. Like,
I'm next.
and you might not even be, it's just that you rarely see
You
people
He'll
leave from
leave.
training. They
Yeah,
call that the last stop
stop
for a reason. Like
for a
you are
reason.
sentenced to die there.
And I was talking about that when I did the interview with Ian, right? I was
Yeah.
talking about that when I was on his podcast. I said, when I first got down there in 2008, right, you will rarely hear one person get a reversal in a year.
Right.
And this is what happened from 2008 on. Then slowly but surely, you will hear two people in a year. Probably around the pandemic in 2020 was the most you started hearing reverse. You get two in a week. You will
Right.
probably get five in a month. And this is when it
Right.
really started happening. And then when you get a chance that through a stroke of a pen of a governor that is trying to do the right thing and
Right.
correct the injustices of extreme trial tax and then the other categories that he got, right? It's like a different type of feeling where you're like, man, I got a shot. Like you said, once you see it happen for somebody else, you're like, oh, I got a shot because he's
Right.
in the same boat.
Right.
So now, Uncle Rob mutually knows both of we spent time with him. Good
Mm-hmm.
dude. So
Great
like
dude.
I consider him more than a friend.
Right.
And I'm sure you do too. So when he's in this uh position now, whereas he's feeling how we felt in his own way, that I'm about to be released for this whole week. And then January 20th hit and the list come out. He's not on the list. I feel that it hit different for him than
Right.
it did for everybody else.
Right.
Everybody else was just operating on faith and hope.
Right.
And as they should.
Yeah.
But he got as far as signing a discharge, and they told him that he was going home.
Home.
And like I told you a couple of minutes ago, it broke my heart because he emailed me on JPay,
Bruh.
and he like, bro, I went down there and signed my discharge paper last week. They told me I've been granted clemency. I'm going home. But I'm hearing that the list that came out today is the final list, and I'm not on there. Is that true? And I'm reading his JPay, and I can feel his hurt,
Right.
right? And then I know that
What's
because
happening?
this is my guy,
Right.
and he's reaching out to me, and I know what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
It breaks my heart that I gotta respond to him in his message and say, bro, that's what happened.
That's what happened.
That's
Yeah.
what happened.
That's really what happened. Like it's like they packed the boxes, closed the door, and to make this a more broad issue, talking about the prison in itself. Again, we always harp back as like things in the prison go up and down depending on the emotional mood that the prison is in.
Yes.
So, like I said, right, what I'm saying right now, I'm not advocating for nothing. I'm not saying nothing going to happen. I'm not saying nothing like that. But what I'm saying is this. When you in a place of despair, when you have nothing, when you're at the bottom, when you quote unquote buried alive, and you had that one little chance of survival and you feel like that's been ripped away from you, everybody don't respond the same way. That's just
Everybody
what
don't
I'm gonna say.
respond.
They don't. Some people don't respond,
Some
and
people don't respond to that because you have
yeah,
some people that's going to deal with it psychologically where it could take them out.
right,
Unfortunately,
right,
what I mean like that is prison. People have
right,
emotions. People
right,
could potentially hang it up, meaning that they
right.
could kill
No, that's
themselves because
listen.
they
The
felt that that was their only shot of being free.
right, and and yo, and it's so crazy that I ain't gonna name the brother name. I went to Chipotle's for the first time. That shit overhyped, man. It was alright. It wasn't really all that. So I'm in there. I see somebody from around the way. When people dap me, they dap me and they hug me, and it's like, damn, all right, bro, get off me. But then he shook my hand again, like, I'm like, bro, what's wrong with you? The truth is, like, bro, I thought I'd never see you ever again in my life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So you don't never see it from that reality because
I
you
don't
in the
see it.
cell like, yeah, I'm on my way. I'm on my way. I'm on my
I'm
way.
on my
Every
way.
day it's I'm on my way.
I'm
I'm
on
on
what?
my way. And then that day turned into a month. That month turned into a year. That year turned into 5. That 5 turned into 10. Next thing you feel like, hold up. Hold up. You start looking in the mirrors.
Start seeing
That
the
hair
braids
coming
pop
out
up.
my ear. You start getting hair on your chest. Like, oh, oh
Yeah,
no. Like,
yo, and,
yeah,
and then about to piggyback off of that, right? Is we have so much faith and hope that one day we'll be free. You talking to your family, you talking to
right.
your friends, you talking to your kids. We saying the same thing. Yo, I'm gonna be home one day. And in the beginning, they like, nah, you definitely gonna get there. You 10 years in, you say the same thing, be home. They like, yeah, but I went and did this today, right? They don't want to talk about it no
They
more
don't want to. Hey, yo, and
because they get discouraged. And like you said, on the flip side of it, they thinking, yo, you in there forever.
but and this is why, like, yo, one of the hardest questions that people really had to face me with. I'm talking about family, loved ones. I'm talking about. I just asked them one question, like, you thought I was done? Like, and that question is so hard for anybody to really just with a straight face answer because you really know the answer to that. We know the answer,
Uh,
but they don't want to express that.
they
They
don't wanna,
can't.
but
They
look,
can't
I
express it.
had I had that conversation with a couple of people that's close to me,
Where
and they gave me an honest answer. They said,
right,
yo, prior to this clemency, we thought you was done.
right,
And I already knew that.
yeah, absolutely,
You can sense it in conversations. I always
right,
knew it.
right.
But the clemency gives not only us that was on that side and those that are still there a renewed hope. It gives your family a renewed hope because they're out here on the outside seeing what's going on. And then, we was blessed. And like I'm going back to that number, think about this. We had a 0.02% chance of being free for us to be having this conversation.
It's
And then,
crazy.
like you said, what's the odds that three of us from the same town that know
Word,
each other
word.
all get it on the same day?
On the same day.
Same day.
That's true. And like, yo, that's really crazy. And it's like, and when you think about it though, like everybody they popped out on their bike. Like I ain't even gonna go into some like, I've done some things, you know what I'm saying? To me, I'm hard on myself. So the things that people look at as like, oh, that's to me, man,
Nah,
ain't about
ain't
nothing.
nothing. It
You
ain't
know what I'm
nothing
saying?
yet.
Because we know what we want to get to. And you can't sit here and fall for the yeah, that's nice right now, and then you rest on your laurels when you ain't even there yet. So
Nah.
this is I keep telling people like, bro, listen, I ain't even put my foot down yet. I ain't even stick
Yo,
my toe in the water. I'm
we
just
ain't yeah, we ain't get to everything that we want. Cause we had plenty of conversations when we was in there, bro.
right,
And together individually with other people, and we came home on a mission.
right,
And we like people knew once they knew both of us would actually pop out, they already knew what it's going to turn into, right? And this is just the beginning
right,
for us. Then the blessing is you got a lot of guys that's still in there that we have been reaching back to, and I know I'm quite sure you get the same response I get. They're like, yo, y'all done kept y'all word. Y'all done kept
right.
your word because not
And,
everybody pop out of that
bro,
situation
and
and reach
this
back.
and this that's fire because it make me feel good, but I've always been a person like I'm going to stand on word for good or worse. That's a lot of
So
the
that's
times that's the shit that got me
in
into a
jail.
lot of the trouble I was in.
You
Because
facts.
for better or worse, if I lay my name across, oh, it's gonna happen.
It's
And I'm
gonna
not
happen.
thinking it is what it is. So and it was so messed up though, like the way the door was slammed. It's like all his boxes left the governor's mansion, all this, and it's like, well, all these people, like you said, these thousands of people applications, how were they denied? I'm gonna tell you how they was denied. They all woke up not knowing what's going on.
Now I
They
know what's
went,
going on.
they got on that JPay kiosk
On
machine
the 21st.
on the
Yep.
21st, and it was a PSA. You know what I'm saying? A round trip email to everybody to all it may concern.
Yep.
If you have not been seen by the governor's office, or if you have not had an interview, or your name wasn't on that list, you're
It's over.
denied. It's
It's over.
over.
It's
Oh,
rejected.
you don't even get you don't even personalize. It don't even say Mr. Such as nah.
Nah, just
It's over.
everybody.
You know what
It's,
I'm
it's
saying?
like
So
it's
now
like
it
a
was like,
it's like a cutthroat. And I had the privilege to tap into a couple of people from the governor team that seen us. And I
yeah,
had asked them that morning the 20th, and I said, so what did this mean when the list come out? And they like, yo, unfortunately, it's over. And we didn't met these people, right? They they did us right in the sense of we got ours commuted not just because of the trial tax, because of the rehabilitation, the work we put in.
right, right,
And rightfully so, there are other people respectfully that did it their own way too that should have been home.
right,
But I will say this. those people that's on the governing team, they actually tried to get as many people as they possibly could.
Right.
They really was for us. They really was
And
for us.
that's something, and that's crazy because I'm a second that. Cause you know me, I came out here and I came out here to speak my word, speak truth to power. I don't care who did what. This is what's happening. I came out here real gun ho to really just go against the establishment, and I continue to do so because there's a lot of things that's not right. But in this instance, dealing with the advisory board and the people that I've talked to, man, I just like the fact that the humanity involved, like the
Yeah.
way I'm being humanized to the fact where it's like you're not just talking to me as a person you think that'll come in there or kill your family or somebody that'll come in there and
Nah,
rob you. No, they're actually talking to you like a man. And it's respectful to the point where they respect what you've done. Like we sitting there looking at you like you got a great job, and they turn around like, no, 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 no. What
nah,
you're doing is
it's
amazing.
great.
So to have people in this office, in the governor's office, to look at it through that lens, it's like, all right, I know what I'm about to go do now. And some of them we still in contact with, so these are good people, you know what I
Good
mean?
people.
So, and they have a job to do. And like I was telling people, I never ever thought that this was going to be a parting of the sea, and everybody was just going to make their way out. It's impossible. But
Nah, it's too many politics behind it for it to
too
happen in
many.
that way.
It's too many
Too
because
many politics.
it's so many things that got wrapped up that's just like, all right, for the fact that I came home. I spoke at the committee. I argued against some legislation that they had for parole, and it impacted both of us. You know what I'm saying? So I just like the fact that I was able to, get my feet wet, get inside that arena, sit down, see how I testifying in front of a committee, in front of the people that make the decisions in our state that can be swayed, that after I got done speaking and I got all these cards and call and connections that I
Yeah.
met, and I'm like, "Bruh, that wasn't even nothing I wrote down and really scripted,
Nah.
and that was just passion and off the hip, like you know what I'm saying." But showing up, and I said that to he said, "Who are you?" I'm on behalf of the incarcerated, the formerly incarcerated, and those that can't speak for themselves. So to
Exactly.
have a voice at that time when policy that's affecting us is going on, or that them days is over, that there'll be nobody speaking up for us. So, it's just even with that, and even when people see like, oh, they seen the picture of you with the governor, so they thinking I got this magic wand or we got these magic wands, I can just say, yeah, let
Nah.
this guy to jail. But what I am pleased to say is, for those that don't know, one of my gigs, I am a paralegal. I am currently employed by John Creighton, who's an attorney, and we've been working to free individual by the name of Darren Boykins. Darren Boykins was locked up in 1981. Darren Boykins has
Yeah.
served almost 45 to 46 years to date. His mother, Camilla, she's a very strong, black, powerful woman. She's 84 years old, and she walked this whole journey down with her son.
And he
So
about to be
any
free.
and I'm pleased to say that I was able to help an attorney to help someone actually get their
Facts.
freedom. So after 45 years, it's bittersweet because yeah, mentally he's not able to sustain or take care of himself. So instead of being paroled to his family, he'll be paroled to like a group home that can handle the needs that he has. But his case isn't over because right now we're still fighting to exonerate him completely. The same way like I'm still fighting to exonerate myself. So I'm like, wow, it's like that's on my resume now. Like, and I
Yeah.
didn't even think about it like that. Like, bro, you not only penned and authored part of your own clemency, but you actually helped and did some things for someone who also, it's just crazy. And like I said, this is stuff we was doing every day in prison. It's
Every
like
day.
it's so much that I got to offer. And it's like then when you think about it, then I get invited to Murphy's last speech in the church, and that's when they gave
Yeah.
the rights to
To George.
ex-offenders
Yeah. To be on
to sit
George.
on. Do you know how? Hey, yo, at first I'm like, man, why I'm here for this, man? Talk about the clemency, free some of my brothers. But then I had to really sit back and like
How big that is.
how big that was
Because
because
think about this. People like us that been through the experience
right,
get called to a juror. and we're able to sit on somebody's jury, a murder trial, attempted murder
Right.
trial, carjacking, any violent crime,
Anything.
we've been through it to whereas we know how to identify the loophole in the prosecutor's case. So now it's like you're giving us the right. We're actually the peers of the person that might go on trial.
Right.
And
And I'm
and
glad
that
you
makes
said that.
all the
That's
difference in the world.
now when you hear you'll get a jury of your peers. I ain't get that. When I went to trial,
No,
all white men. I
yeah,
had I'm sorry, I had an Asian man on there. I
yeah.
had one black
It's
young woman, and they got rid of her in the middle of trial, and that was
but
strategic.
but I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go even a little farther than that, right? Let's even just take the race out of it.
Yeah,
We came from Asbury Park, New Jersey, and
yeah.
at that time at Asbury Park, it was a high crime rate, a lot of things happening. So when you say drawers of our peers, we thinking Asbury, Neptune,
Yeah,
Long Branch, right?
yeah.
They're going to get people from Avon, Belmar,
Point
Mattawan,
Beach.
yeah, Bradley,
Yeah.
like all
I
these
ain't even
different
heard of
tabs.
these places.
So it's nothing against the race, but you can't say that there are parents just because they're in the same town or same county, right? Because it's some people. I had one lady on my jury. She was like, "Yeah, my husband and the one of the main detectives on this guy case. Me and him and his wife, we all go out to dinner from time to time."
Bro, I'm
I'm
picking a
like,
bro. When I was picking my jury, there's like, yeah, I'm gonna be biased. There's like the judge asked him why. I don't like him. He looks guilty. Look at him.
yeah,
He
he
looks
from
like a murderer.
Asbury.
But and go back, and this is what happens, and it's strategically done. So when they looking at all these key ports and all these weird places and that you got all these jurors from, you know what they read? The Asbury Park Press.
Exactly.
And you know what they see in the Asbury Park Press? Niggas that look like you committing crimes.
And
So
they hear
even
about it.
and
They
they
hear
hear
about
about it.
Asbury. They hear about it.
But this is the thing, and it goes back to, like I tell people, when you go to trial, and the prosecutors opening statements, they always, it's called the atmosphere. They set in the atmosphere and they set in the stage because they will already let you know what this area or what is going on in this place. So they might say, oh, it's in a place here where it's known drug dealing and it's known this. So now it's
How do you
set in
feel?
the juror's mind like, oh, these all scumbags. You feel what I'm
Exactly.
saying? So
Exactly.
you never have a chance. So by somebody like me sitting on a juror like, yo, don't feed into that. Or looking at the evidence for what it was, or saying, "Oh well, we heard this. Yeah, you heard this, but he said this." But the most important thing about jury service that would be big for an ex-offender is the jury instructions.
Exactly.
You win and lose
On
trial
on jury
on
instructions.
whether or not that jury can fully understand the judge's instructions. Now, all of the juries and the jurymen and women serving on them are what you call laymen. Laymen are people who are not trained in the law. They know nothing about the law. So all they're doing is listening from this picture, his side, that side, and where do we go? But understanding the and ors, or the therefores, or the thus, or the but with, or that you
Oh,
have to be able to
oh,
understand these little key terms
he,
that will change the
ho-
whole
and
trajectory.
and also how they are magically trying to pull things out of thin air for the circumstantial evidence. But look,
Right.
even with that, right? I don't want to go too far in it because we're gonna save all this for
Oh,
another time.
I say no more. You know,
We
that's
gonna
how
save
it
all
go
it.
though.
Yeah, we gonna save all this for another time. So you
Yeah.
already know before we go, what you got to give them as far as something positive. I always try to leave it on a positive note. We gotta give them something positive.
All right, so that's easy. Nowadays, that's all I am. Positive cat. You heard?
Nah.
But nah, like I said, I got a lot of things going on. Whether it's in the social justice arena, whether it's musically, I got some things going on with the brother Shouts, the HD, FTF, No Flight to Fortune. We not done. That remix about to come out. We about to do that. Like I said, I got the nonprofit 501c3 paperwork being filled out at this time. So if Justice for Jersey can be up, it can be ready to go. We can start
All right.
taking donations. We can start event planning. We can start doing fundraisers. Of course, I have a few things that I'm going to take part in, as well as speaking engagements. And also, we going back to Trenton. I'm going to scour the legislative calendar, and we're going to see what bills we
Absolutely.
oppose. We're going to see what bills are for us, and we're going to try to make those necessary appointments. But the thing that I'm gonna do in the interim, I think most recently is the brothers that are being free. Shouts to them again. You know, times was spent. And I plan to be outside the gate for these brothers,
Yeah,
you know, once they hug their families and whatever the
absolutely.
case, because that's what Justice for Jersey do. Like, we're not just an organization that's just going to be talkers or a podcast. No, these going to be real stories. We're going to really be moving out to the things that we're talking about. We're going to be actually involved in the policy, involved in some of the legislative moves. It's going to be big, man. Like, so
Absolutely.
you know, with that, you know, they talking about we got a storm coming. You know, I hope everybody, you know, bought a little extra food, water, whatever the case may be. I hope everybody stays safe, man. But like I said, man, I'm in it to win. Like I
Absolutely.
haven't even I'm not even sleeping right, and it's not even because it's just I don't want to miss nothing.
Don't want
Like
to miss that.
when you miss so much, bro. But yeah,
Yeah.
man, I just wanted to leave
You
y'all with this though. Sometimes we got to get out of our own way. Like, let's keep it 100, bro.
facts.
Like, a lot of the times, our misery, our pain is self inflicted. And we don't have enough self awareness to be like, it's on me. You know what I'm saying? So, as long as you continue to throw your problems off on somebody else, it'll never change. And if you struggling with the person you used to be, you can never be the person you trying to be. See what I'm saying? So, I'm going to leave you with that one.
Facts.
And that's what we gonna do.
Not,
Justice
not
for Jersey, man.
absolutely. And you already know me. Shout out to Ian Big for having me on the podcast. You know, hopefully I see you on there soon. You know
Yeah,
that
yeah.
that
Shouts to Ian Big,
that
man. I did fill my questionnaire
yeah,
out.
yeah, you
Yeah,
gotta
yeah.
get
We
to
looking
that. You
forward to that. We
gotta
looking
get to
forward
that.
to that.
So, you know, shout out to him. I got a couple of more podcasts coming up.
Mhm.
I ain't dropping their name yet. You know, they just gonna pop up. I got like four good ones coming up soon. So, you
That's
know,
fire.
I'm thankful for that.
That's
And you
fire.
know, I'm just grinding. And as
Right.
you know, same way you just for jury, I'm saving souls,
That's
right?
right. But that's
Because
what Justice for Jersey do. We save souls.
we saving
We
souls, right, in
saving
our
souls.
own
Make
way.
sure you
So
get me one of those, man. Make
I
sure
got
you
you.
get
I
me a
got you.
saving soul hoodie. I need,
I
like I
got you.
said, bro. Like, if you're not gonna support your own, what you gonna support? You know what I'm saying?
Exactly,
Like, all right.
exactly. So you know me, man. I'm just continue to run it up, and like I said, we have a purpose. We have a
Right.
purpose not just for ourselves. We got a purpose for those we left behind,
Right.
and we got to do right because we're getting scrutinized.
Right.
And positive note, I would just say, like you hit it right on the head about sometimes we get in our own way. But I'll also would add to that is adversity is inevitable in every last one of our lives. We're
Right.
all going to face it to some type of degree. It might not be in prison like it was for us facing the
Yeah.
amount of years, right? It could be an everyday thing. It could be somebody that's through addiction, financial lack, whatever the case may be, right? But adversity is going to come, and when that adversity comes, you just gotta just get through it, fight through it. It's going to
Right.
be hard. It's going to be tough. But everything that we go through is meant to grow us and build our character in a way so we can be better on a road to being that person that we are striving to be. Right.
Right. Now that's a fact.
And
That's a
that's what it
fact.
is. What's your
That's a great way to end that thing, though. You
absolutely
heard?
give me your social media handles, bro.
Oh, you already know my social media handle, the LaShawn, TheLawShawn. Like I said, we got big things coming, but I got the new page coming out soon. But I ain't gonna say nothing about that yet. That's gonna be for the
Absolutely.
entertainment purposes and things like that. But yeah, catch me like Instagram, Facebook. Like I said, I ain't TikTok too. Yeah, we there too. I'm everywhere. So you know, just get with me, man. We doing big things, man. We saving souls. It's justice for Jersey, man.
Yeah,
You know?
absolutely. As for me, as y'all already know, uh, my Instagram, my TikTok is Shaw John 1222. That's SHAWJOHN 1222. And, you know, I'm gonna pin them. I'm gonna pin them. I'm gonna pin them so that way people can be able to find them and all of that. But it's definitely always a pleasure, bro. We definitely
Right.
can
You
get back and
already.
do this again soon and give them more, bro.
You already know, bro.
All right,
Peace.
bro. You already know, bro.
Love you.
Love you, bro.